Well, we're hearing some fresh arguments tonight in the debate over what critics call the wussification of America. Feminist Paglia getting attention for an essay arguing there's no room for anything manly in today's society. She's not happy about it. Our power panel's back now to weigh in. She is sort of feminist, but sort of a different strain of feminist.
Yeah. Right.
And she is ticked off about this, saying that preschool, primary school education is a crock. She says it's oppressive to boys, anybody with physical energy. She says there's no strong male, masculine role models anymore, and that we're wussifying an entire generation of boys.
I was just at a 7-year-old's birthday party at Laser Kingdom, and none of those boys seemed wussy to me. They were chasing me down with their laser guns for an hour.
I mean, really.
What are you trying to say, Megan?
Anyone will chase you down with a laser.
If you look around the room and you cannot find the wuss.
Hey. I'm the one guy here who knows what it means to be a man in the 21st century. So.
And it is Luke.
Look at him. I think this is absolutely ridiculous. I have a son. He's 21 years old. He plays varsity sports all the way through since he was could barely pick up a baseball bat and started beating people up with. He was making guns out of sticks and all of that kind of stuff.
That's because his mother is a former federal prosecutor.
So
you got paid to kick butt and take names.
I think Paglia is just trying to get some attention, like she's done her entire
career. No, there's like this series, I guess. Is it Time?
She did win Time last month.
Right, because another writer, Hannah Rosen, came out with a piece beforehand that said men are obsolete because they're failing in the workplace, because the traditional household is vanishing, and because they now are obsessed with their body hair the same way women are.
Let's ask Chris.
You want me to open my shirt, Megan? I don't know if we're covered for that.
We've got the full picture up here.
Look.
The problem I have with Camille Paglia is I think she makes some very good points, and I think she made really good points in the Wall Street Journal about kind of what the women's movement is in America today, and maybe they should be focusing on more serious issues. I mean, you think of what we term a war on women here, and it's contraception rights, and if taxpayers should be paying for it, and you have people in India who are facing systemic misogyny, and that's kind of a real war on women. So we kind of have it as a misnomer.
But she's talking about what we're doing to little boys, about how they have physical energy, and they need to run, they need to play, and instead we're like, sit down and go to math camp.
That seems to be more criticism on a school system.
I played football in high school and college, and if we were 0-6, we had 5,000 people in the stands, but the women's field hockey team, which was undefeated forever at my high school, never had anybody go to the games except for the kids' parents.
Why is it?
I don't know, but that's still the case today.
What is your point?
Well, my point is that men are celebrated in this society for their achievements far more than women are. And as a father of daughters, I want to see my daughter celebrated as well.
But she's making the point that boys can't say anything. You can't say, like the boy who kissed the girl on the hand. That's sexual harassment.
No.
And so we're sort of boxing these children and these boys into thinking, I can't do anything, I can't say anything.
Anecdotal evidence that she's pointing to. She's not pointing to anything systemic.
All right, I got to move on because apparently these guys are not wusses. I haven't seen the movie yet, but Leonardo DiCaprio's new movie, Wolf of Wall Street, apparently drops the most movie F-bombs. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, boy.
Of any movie in a of any movie, 506 times every 60 seconds of the 180-minute film.
Great.
Here's a peek, an okay one.
22 billion in 3 hours!
The real question is this: was all this legal? Absolutely not.
So this movie's getting all sorts of buzz for the profanity, for allegedly glorifying a bad guy. I don't want to give away the story, but for allegedly glorifying a bad guy. And in the end, what? It's just free publicity?
Because we're talking about it, absolutely. But look at the Yahoo review. What they said was, look, all these F-bombs, nobody is really paying attention to them because the other stuff that's going on is so much more crazy than that. Debauchery. Debauchery.
Is that new? I mean, it's Scorsese, right?
I haven't seen it, but a friend of mine who did told me if you bring your wife to see it, she's going to leave you. So don't bring her to see it. That's what I was told.
Oh, wow.
That is very serious.
That's uncomfortable.
I was told it's like a softcore porn.
Oh, no.
And, so I don't know where I'm going to see it, who I'm going to see it with, but...
This reminds me of the time back when I was practicing law, and we were trying a case out in Iowa, and some of the junior lawyers and I went to see the movie Unfaithful together. Remember that one?
Oh,
with
yeah,
Diane
of course,
Lane,
yes.
Richard Gere? And I was sitting in the middle, and these two guys were flanking me on the left and the right, and I'm telling you, some of those scenes...
Yeah.
You did not make eye contact.
Yeah.
You did not touch your popcorn.
Drinking your Coke.
You just pretended nobody else was in that room.
Well, it's like Glenn Close and Fatal Attraction, the same kind of thing, right?
Yes.
You would just be like nervous with anyone.
I don't know. I think they do. You know, it's
Boogie
surprising
Nights.
coming from Martin Scorsese. You know, like
I mean, it is a lot of cuss words. What you think about? I'm a huge rap music fan, which you can obviously tell by looking at me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely look like you're down.
Right, you
I'm
got to get the
toning
rap.
it back in the last couple years, but I used to be, and Lil Wayne uses like at least 23 a minute. But I do think if you were listening to that and you heard a cuss word every minute and for 2 hours, I just think that it would become an
Well,
now, let me tell you, if you would like to see how Wall Street really works, and you don't want debauchery, well, there is some debauchery, but you don't want F-bombs.
No.
Look at this.
Who
My
wrote
husband,
that?
Douglas Brown. Number one, it was a New York Times bestseller as well. So we'll talk more about that on the opposite side of the break. Thanks, panel.
Thank you.
You got it.